Hey Berkies, to Wk10 Science. Wherever you're watching this from, might be at home, might be at school, might be with a grandparent, might be with an auntie or an uncle or some other form of carer. But lovely to have you watching this today. Just going to feed these little puppy dogs because they're so good. All right, here we are in my garden once again. This week you're doing an observation. I don't know whether those of you who've got a garden at your house or wherever you are at the moment, whether you've noticed out in the garden there's a very, very busy little insect. And of course that would be the bee. Hence the simile, busy as a bee. Bees are very active in the garden at the moment, and that's what you're going to be observing. Now, we know that bees can give a fairly nasty sting, and you can see that I'm sitting here not particularly worried about them. I do actually react quite badly to bees, but I know that I'm not going to annoy the bees by sitting here. So a little heads up for you, if a bee comes close to you, don't go swatting at it because that will just make it frightened and scared as well. It's just sniffing you to see whether or not you're worthwhile getting any nectar or pollen out of. All right, so today what you're going to be doing is you're going to go outside and you're going to look at a bee and see what that bee is doing. Then on the activity sheet that you have for today, you're going to be learning lots and lots of bee facts. Bees are very, very important to our world, not just so that they can get into these flowers and make us beautiful honey, but they also do something else really, really important, and that's what you're going to learn about today. We've also been really lucky that Miss Rawlins and her dad have been doing some filming of the beehives that Mr. Rawlins loves to keep. So make sure you check that out. I've also included in your notes for today a link to a really good short BTN, which is all about bees. So you're going to get lots and lots of facts. When you go to do your activity, write down everything that you've learnt about bees. And really importantly, what it is that is important about bees. Why are bees so important and why do we need to look after them? Something else that I've got over here is I've actually made a little bee pond because like all animals, they need to have a drink. Fortunately, the bees aren't really taking up my offer of a bee pond. Notice how the water's pretty dirty. It doesn't really matter how dirty the water is. You don't really need to change it. Just throw some rocks in there though, so they will have something to rest on. Right, Fergus is going to have a drink. All right, I'm just going to check my notes. Because I don't know whether or not there's too much else I need to tell you. I think that that's pretty much it. Just as a final note, if you've been taking a photo or video of anything that you've been doing in science, please send it through to your teacher on Class Dojo, because what I'd love to do is to get Mrs. Hogg to do up a little bit of a video of everyone and what they've been up to in science. All right, Berkies, I'll let you go now. Get into it, be happy, be safe, and have a wonderful holiday.